Hello and welcome back to my stream. My name is Amitai and I'm going to be streaming today, as you can see, again about package source. I'm a little bit low energy today. Whole house is sick. I definitely have some gunk. But I have made pretty good progress on uh, updating packages that were out of date. This list is a lot shorter than it was before in the last few streams. And just to recap the current state, CircOS is a package that is indeed out of date. I may decide to relinquish maintainership, but I do have a partial update. Maybe I'll finish it sometime. Not today, I don't think. Discount, to recap, appears to be out of date, but this is not a stable release version, so I will not be updating to that until there's a stable version. Go redo, I did this update last night. It was easy. And what I'm going to focus on today, because I think it's going to be enough, is the Python approval utilities and Python approval tests. So let's pop into what that's about. It says that I have version 8.3.1, and that's true. And it says that version 10 is available. What happened last time I started on this update is that I ran into kind of a proliferation of new dependencies. Not all direct, some of them were transitive, but more than a trivial update for sure. So knowing that, what I want to do this time is see if I can take a smaller update, not go straight for 10, but go incrementally through. At least if there's one easy update, I'll take that, and then we can work our way through the dependency explosion as it happens. I suppose an option on the table is not to update. That's basically not in consideration for me right now. I'm not sure what would make it under consideration. It would have to be a really extreme set of circumstances because, in general, the job of a package manager, the job of anybody managing any kind of dependency, is to stay on top of it. And I've actually let this sit for much longer than I'm comfortable with. So I'm glad to have time and hopefully enough energy and brain to make a dent in that today. So first things first, looking on the right side, actually 0 things 0, I want to see what versions repology knows about. Who else has these packages? Wow. Okay, Nix has very old versions and some more recent versions and more up-to-date versions than I have. So quite a few versions, actually. PyPy, sort of by definition, and also because that's the upstream maintainer, has the latest. PyPy is also just the place that new Python distributions are typically available from. So that's definitionally true. And here we are. So there aren't actually a lot of package systems that have this. Most people, I suppose, get it from pip or some equivalent. And it's just the Nix people and me, and maybe some other package source users, who like to get things a different way when they can, in a more systemic, less language specific way when they can. So let's pop over to the project itself on GitHub and see what we're looking at for releases. Might need to wiggle that. Yeah. Just a moment here. Make sure that's on. Normally it would be. Okay. Uh, releases. Let's see what the path was. I was last here with a committed update. Wow, it's been a while. July, November. Not great, not my best work, but this update was a bit chewy. So we had 8.3. I was going for 8.4.1, and then I think, let's see what happened with that. Let's see what happened with that. Is anything installed already for approval tests? No. For approval utilities? No. So approval utilities has to be changed, it seems, in lockstep. It was extracted from the main package. But it seems to have to change at the same time. Okay, so I don't see any change of dependencies there from last time that I looked at this. And how about here? Yes. Okay, so in approval tests, okay, so there isn't even sort of an intermediate update that's all that doable. 8.4, or maybe 8.4.1, but probably 8.4 introduced these new dependencies for verify logging. And I don't know if they're all in package source. All right. So let's bounce out of here and focus on approval tests. Okay, so we're going to need a bunch of dependencies. Let's start on that. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so here we are. We are at the place where we need something called PyTestFixtures, and it's not there. So let's pop back over to PyPy. Test fixtures, see what that is. Probably this one. Okay. Ag text fixtures. Ah, okay. I think I saw something good. It's in whip. Package source whip. So maybe I don't have to create this one. I just have to straighten it out and import it. Maybe. Okay, so what version do we seem to require? Greater than 7.1. And what version are we? I was in the process of updating it. Okay, I'm starting to remember where I was last time I was working on this. So what the hell? Let's get here. Okay. Get a fresh tarball for that. Can this get going? Building something rusty here. So the dependency graph we are attempting to traverse here with creating packages wherever we have to and updating them where we have to. is whatever is required by Python approval tests. Maybe we can get into these dependencies. Open the code, view the code. It's probably just in these requirements file. What these all are. Okay, requirements dev, prod extras. Okay, prod minimum is these. Prod required is these. That's just including other ones. This is how to run tests, which I think, given how involved this update is, I'm going to want to be able to do. Still doing a build. So I think it was in the last stream where was it? No, I think it was after the last stream that I updated all of the S6 related software in package source. The new manual pages did come out. I think it was over the weekend that I did this, so I didn't stream it. So scalibs, which is to begin with a reimplementation of DJB's, and now by far an extension and cut of those. And that's the one that ever really has portability problems. And then all the other software that depends on that typically builds everywhere. So there was an update to execline, to S6 process control. Execline being sort of in the same space as shell scripting, but a different approach. And S6 in the same space as daemon tools um, or other process supervisors, but again, much more modern. S6 DNS, which may be named something else in the future, a set of DNS libraries. Again, originally inspired from DJB's work with DJB DNS, but now headed in its own direction. S6 networking, which is inspired by DJB's UXPy TCP, TCP client, TCP server, which in turn was probably inspired by inetd that everybody still uses for some stuff, where the way to write a network program is not to write network code in every program. It's to find a way to separate the concerns. And in many, many cases, the way a network program can work is that it can read from standard in and write to standard out if something else connects those sockets to the network. And that's what a TCP server can do, or S6 networking has programs like that. What it has that UXPy TCP doesn't have, and there really I'm not aware of any competitors, is that it integrates SSL, TLS encryption in a very sensible way. So I'm hoping to rely more on that in my own stuff and for not QMail. We had a build failure. What's it about? Pi 311 NH3. I am going to paper over that and hope that that's okay. This was in, because I don't know what this is and I would prefer not to learn. That doesn't mean a darn thing to me. Okay, on to the next one. Yeah, so S6 networking is updated. That was what was appearing in my repology output. It no longer is. And then I was able to add the new web server from the same author, which I probably will try at some point when I can. That's over here. This is where all that software is. Uh, I mentioned scalibs, execline, S6. I also updated S6 portable utils, S6 DNS, S6 networking. Those are all in package source. SMTPD start TLS proxy, which is very much in the same space as my software to adapt Qmail SMTPD without patching it. Laurent actually has told me um, if I didn't have a bug or two in my code, he probably wouldn't have written his, and I do need to fix the bugs. Uh, but it's been so fine for me that I haven't bothered. Um, but yeah, this is a program that acts as a proxy in front of a Qmail SMTPD and adds um, um, opportunistic encryption, or sits in front of offmipd, the submission service, and adds opportunistic encryption and authentication. So he has one that is just for the port 25 scenario and is very cleanly implemented, of course. And then Tippity, I was mentioning the new web server. So I've packaged this for package source in a minimal way. I haven't actually tried running it or thinking about how to integrate it better with the package source environment. Just doing a build, getting it packaged, getting it out there, so that when I am ready to try it, that it'll be easy. Right now, my websites are a bunch of instances of Lighty. And Lighty is pretty okay. I've been pretty pleased with it, but I have always wanted to be running um, something that was designed to be a child process of a TCP server or an SSL server, and this one is. It doesn't have any other way to run, so that's how you know it's a first-class way to do it here. And yeah, in general, smaller, more contained. That's been the direction. I started with Apache a long time ago, migrated incrementally to Lighty. Been kind of happy about that. Um, yeah, Lighty hasn't really bothered me much, but I am still interested to run the smallest, most opinionated software that I can to solve the problems that I have. So I'm interested in that when I can. So we were working our way down this dependency tree, and it looks like we're warm. We have a bunch of things that test fixtures needs. If we're up to date about listing the dependencies, which we might not be. So give that a make. Yeah, give that a make package. How about a make test? Any chance? No, we need some more modules. Okay. Um, so yeah, I guess first things first. We are in the state where we're trying to update Python approval tests. Not even to 10, just to 8.4.1. Introduces some new dependencies. And what we're chewing through on that is, where was it? This thing. This is apparently extras for verify logging. So maybe this needs to be an option, is what that sounds like. Yeah, but it needs to be an option that can work. Maybe. Maybe that's an easy way out, actually. What if we simply don't support that option No, I would much rather. This is newly introduced. The time to bite it off is now, or really was when it happened. Uh, so I'm gonna work through that dependency. It'll be nice when we get it. Okay, so bouncing back down into text fixtures and whip, a bunch of stuff changed. I already twiddled this packing list. So let's do this. Let's call this a commit. Oops. Okay, gotta update that a little bit more. Where were we? This one, this one. That's not helpful. Okay, so I need to take this, put it over in here, and then here we say pi. We're going to stick to a more Git friendly. Yeah, wrapped along lines. Okay, that looks about right. What were we versioning before? 6.15.0. And what is the commit file? Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's call that an update. And now nothing funky going on here. Give that a push up to package source whip. End state here. I wanna make sure this thing's self tests pass at least locally before I promote it to package source proper. Let's see what's involved with that. Hmm. I think this is part of why I hadn't done that before, because not all of these things are in package source. So let's go take a look. Okay, so whip, that's it. Uh, Visible. Oop. Oh, I had to create this package? Hmm. Okay. On to the next one. right, well, at least it's not newer since then. Is this in working order? We go to some trouble with dependencies because when it really matters, then we have a way to manage things. What's happening here? Need to make a plist. Yes. Okay. I've been seeing a lot of this, and I'm gonna assume it's fine, and that we're managing Python package sources, managing Python's uh, you know, Git related packaging if we can, because everything else seems like it's working. So it must not be as error to package source as it is to Python. Is there a make test? What do I need? Text test result. Ooh, okay. Let's try again. Look for the instructions. Quick start. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to actually use this. I just want to know if it's working fine. I don't care about it. Set up fine test. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I need another window into there so we can. Yeah, I don't have any of these dependencies encoded. So that's all pretty spuriously succeeding. Uh, so we need pens, furrow, sinks, twine, urllib3, and wheel. Test depends. Mist parser, I test. Yeah, I don't think we have a problem there. Either. Are you kidding me? It needs test fixtures. That, I'm pretty sure that's circular, right? Oy vey. That's extras require though. Maybe that's not a big deal. So what did we see exactly? Don't do that. Use talks. Yeah. error. Simple integration unit test pi. There we go. What is this? Was complaining here. So in that test, this is getting called with like either this is a none or this is a none because we're not able to call all the way through that dot chain to even compare it against a none. Must be coming out of here. So we must be missing a dependency. That's got to be what it is. So let's try taking these depends seriously. I remember why I didn't do this update. Oh, lordy. Pi Furo. I think we need to draw a picture somehow here of what a mess this is. Let's pop over here. What I was trying to do was update this. Add cap dependency farce. Okay, so Pi approval tests depends on, you know what? Just draw a picture with nested lists. Pi, let's be clearer here, devel utilities. That's fine. But then the new dependency in Pi approval tests, that was problematic. We had a few. Yes. Guess develop Pi mock probably was there already. Whip Pi test fixtures. So it was too old. We've updated that. That's what we're trying to do now. Okay, and then where was this? Right. Um, then this has the test dependencies. Django. Shouldn't even try. Civil greater than or equal to 3. and twisted. Let's just do this. Oop, presumably that would meet the need. Sybil. Yeah, creating it now. Twisted again. I hope that's spoken for. Yeah. This one is funky. This one is funky. We're trying to complete this one. All right. Right, and then we were working our way down this beautiful picture. So pop back up from there. Sybil needs furrow, sphinx, twine, urllib3, and wheel. And I don't know, let's just include all these. Mist. It's funny, my fingers autocomplete MySQL still. Been a long time. PyTest, sure. Uh, yeah. Let's see if everything else exists around here. Mystic. This doesn't look the same to me. Not packaged. Wheel, I'm sure, is fine. Can I guess? Yeah. Anything preventing going into the package that is proper? Don't know. Textbook by Sphinx. By Twine. So this is a picture of the rabbit hole, you could say. So far. Feel like it's gonna go deeper. Go. So if you're watching this and wondering, this kind of shit test my willpower. Yes. Yes, it does. Um, what might happen today is that we get partway through this. That might be realistically what's going to happen. Uh, I I think a good deliverable for today would be to make sure that we get a pretty complete picture of this here. I feel like this is a good start, and I want to finish tracing it as much as we can finish tracing it. And of course, for anything that's not packaged, that could go quite a bit deeper. So maybe if there are things that seem to be at the end of the chain that that are missing packages, it would be worth at least spiking packaging them to understand the dependencies that they have. And then maybe we have bounded the size of this update. Um, yeah, so let's carry on in that direction. What I was trying to do. Need test. Let's just get, if we're going to say that a lot, let's make it shorter. Okay, updated need test. Anything in whip is going to have to get promoted to package source proper before it can be depended on by something that's in package source proper. So that's a consideration. This one is not a big deal, so I'm just going to put it there. This is where things get really funky. All right, so we're looking at Sybil and actually making it seem like it could work. What is mist parser? Markdown. Okay. Okay, I'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, I took a little break, refilled my coffee, had a snack. I'm ready to go at this a little bit more. So again, we are chasing a kind of absurd dependency situation. This is what package managers are for. Let's be clear. This is why we have them. But it's also, as a person who's a package maintainer, it's also not fun when an update gets this deep. So as we said before the break, I'm not going to finish this update today. What I will try to get to a high percentage finished is a picture of the needs of this update. I think that's a good deliverable for today. So let's keep going that way. Remember, we are trying to package an update to approval tests, which introduced a dependency, may be optional, but a dependency on test fixtures, which was outdated in package source whip, which is not the same as package source proper. So I've updated that and I want to test it. And to test it, I'm going to need these things. Did I get that right? Django, Sybil, and Twisted. Yeah. Not going to worry about the docs. Forget it. Uh, and then Sybil is a new thing. And it has dependencies, which, for example, Furo is going to have to get promoted to package source for this to possibly get added to package source. And so will test fixtures, which is tricky. Though I guess if I've seen this pass its tests, then I'm ready to promote it to package source proper, and then it could be a dependency for this. I just think it's very pleasant to think about, as I'm sure you do, that this, to be tested, needs this, which, to be tested, needs this. That is a fun thought. Anyway, we were looking at Furo. That's the next turn of the screw. And I have something going on here, which is an update. Oh boy. Okay, is this the latest? Oh Lord. Okay. Do I have to do this update, or did I just want to do this update? Sure. We are having fun now, yes? It's a documentation theme. Okay. Uh, Started updating this. Do I have to? Could I defer that? Sphinx, I hope is fine. Twine, you're all a mist parser. We were looking at. What does this depend on? Maybe those. Take me to the GitHub. GitHub. That's the one. Guess the dependencies would be covered here. Who wants to guess if all of these are in package source? DocuTools? Probably. Good news. Ginger? Yeah, Ginger 2. Markdown. Markdown at Pi. Three. Yeah, okay. Not that one, whatever that is. Okay. We say by DocuTools, by Ginger 2, it, I gonna need that. A YAML, I'm sure is fine. Textproc by Ginger 2. Textproc that one. Don't know what category that would be. So that would be for missed parser. So again, we wouldn't know what that one needs. So that's our next look. Right, and these are all optional dependencies, so I would skip them. Believe me, I would skip them. Let's come back to PyPy and look for this thing. GitHub. What do we got? Build system requires flit. Depends only on Markdown at Pi. Okay. What about flit? Whew. Okay. That one. Version is in range. Life is good. PyFlit core. Out of curiosity, I assume this is 7. Yeah, okay. So maybe that branch of the tree ends there. Gotta call that something. And PyCedar, what's that? Not anything. Lordy. Cedar. Okay, so we need to package cedar, and that depends on text proc by nat sort. Extras require emoji. I don't care. Not going to be worrying about that. Okay, that accomplishes cedar, and then test fixtures we are already in progress. Amazing. Is that the bottom of the rabbit hole? Depends on it depends on the answer to this question. Why did I think I needed to update Furo for Sybil? It doesn't specify a version. Hmm. Okay, so this is hinting me at a possible path through the madness. Dependencies needed to complete the update. A path through the mess. Let's say step one is try not updating Python, right? Um, create package for PyCedar. That's a really easy win. It's a small thing with one dependency that we already do have. And that was needed by Sybil in order to run its tests. Working our way back up. Create package for mditpy plugins. That's another relatively easy win. As I recall, it depended on that too, but we already have that. And then we're getting there. And then we have a slightly more involved one, I suppose, for mist parser. Once this is available as a dependency, then we'll be able to do that. I want to make sure I run the self-tests for all these things because I want the end result to pass its self-tests, if at all possible. So we're working our way back up here. PyCedar will get packaged. mditpy plugins will get packaged. Mist parser will get packaged. And then let's just go that way. Oops. Try not updating Python. See if PyCybil self-test pass. Let's just say make them pass. And then when that's true, then I'll be able to test fixtures, this self-test pass, and then import PySybil to package source proper. Hold up, wait, no. Import in this order, PyCedar, mdit Py plugins mist parser PySybil to package source proper. Just those things. Yeah, and I guess at that point, also, Py test fixtures. From whip. And then make Py approval tests. Says self-test pass. 10. Make optionalize, I'll say. What was it called? Verify logging. Yeah. Optionalize. Verify logging. Dependencies. And update approval tests. Friends, that's the story. I think that's our win for today. I will be working on this incrementally. Maybe I'll work on it on the stream. Maybe I'll work on some of it outside the stream. But this looks like the way to work my way from the inside out so that approval tests can be updated. Yeah, and I'm a package maintainer for the Python implementation of approval tests. I'm not currently using it for anything, but I'm often consulting for clients and being glad that I have it available. So I will probably share with the upstream maintainer, just so you know, this was really heavy. I don't think you meant it to be, but in this case it was. In the case where you get everything from PyPy, I'd imagine it's the easiest thing in the world. But in the case where we have our own packaging of these things, it is a bit involved. So I will do this now that I see the shape of it, and I won't be surprised at every turn, and I can just understand how to work incrementally. There probably are still some surprises lurking here, but this generally feels like the size of the problem. And that's the thing that's what made me, flip the table last time I looked at this, is that I was not prepared for the needs of the update to keep exploding at each additional level of the dependency tree. And so for this stream, I came into it knowing that happens and not expecting to resolve it, and just hoping to take a picture of it, make that visual, make it something that I can see and reckon with, and that is what we have done today. So to wrap up the stream for today, again, this was package source. This was an attempt, an early step at updating the Python approval tests package from 8.3 to not even the very latest, but just one particularly troublesome update. Hopefully the updates after this one, uh, actually, yeah, to 8.4.1, update by approval tests to the latest available. And hopefully that's not such a big step from where we will get to. So again, to recap, this is me as a package maintainer of Python ApprovalTests, wanting to do the update that I wasn't able to do months ago in July when that initial update came out and proved troublesome. But I got caught up enough on other updates that this is the one that was left in front of me. And I brought my willpower, especially today, I'm a little bit under the weather, to visualize what the update entails. And that way at least, and also to not just to look at the problem, but to chart a path through the solution so that when I have minutes here and there, because this isn't a bit of paid work, this is something I come back to when I have a minute. So when I have a minute, I can rely on this kind of serialized thinking that I just did and just see, well, where am I in this process? And let's come back and do whatever I can do with the minutes that I have. So I feel like this was, in its way, very productive as a session. Thanks for watching with me, and I will see you next time.